When you need a mortgage, don't stress at all. Just tune right in and give these guys.
Good morning, YouTube. Today is Tuesday, March 31st. I can't believe the whole month is gone already. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, fellas?
Last day of the month. I didn't even realize, it was the last day of the month till you just said that. But nice month. Nice month, boys.
Quick month, but I feel like we're sitting here for you sports lovers at a great time of year for sports fans. We got a Final Four. We got the Masters coming up. We got baseball season. Not too bad.
Yeah, this and probably like September-ish is the best time. You got all the sports rock and roll at one time.
Yeah,
I love that. I can't get me enough sports, so it's good. But I think you forgot to mention the biggest sport of them all tonight. USA Soccer playing Portugal in another friendly lead-up. Man, did they look bad this weekend.
Crap. Anth, I totally forgot that biggest one tonight. My bad. My bad, Tom. But, yeah, guys, with everything going on in the world, interest rates may be up a little bit. The world may be going crazy. But guess what? People in Pittsburgh still want to buy homes. So we're going to stick with talking about affordability, because Mr. Anthony, the big A, has been talking affordability for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the most important part of home purchasing. And I know a lot of people think it's the price, but it's never about the price if the payment doesn't work. So it's got to be affordable.
And
I can't stop laughing. I just want to keep calling Anthony big affordability. Like he should make up a song.
We should use ChatGPT, make him into like a children's guy singing about mortgages in the alphabet.
Big affordability.
The letter of the day is A for affordability.
Yeah. I mean, that's at least 30 million views on YouTube right there. But what the easiest way we all know to get started on your mortgage process is to get pre-approved. But we also know that agents have a cluster of folks that they just don't want to call us. Maybe they're scared, maybe they're busy, heck, maybe they're lazy. I'm not really sure why they don't want to call us to get pre-approved, but they have no idea how much house they can afford, but they're interested in knowing how much house they can afford.
Yeah, we get those calls a lot. They don't want to go through the full process and actually see what's going on, but they want all the information of what they can afford. And, certain times we are happy to give an estimate and show where a number might fall, but that doesn't mean anything to an individualized buyer because everybody's debts are different. Everybody's income's different. And that ultimate rate, that number could change based on their actual pre-approval. So you need to get a pre-approval done by every person.
And Tom said the two most important words in qualification, Anthony: debts and income. That's what we look at in the mortgage world. That's what we're focused on, your monthly income and your monthly debts. That's how we qualify you. And that's why we want to pull up our debt to income chart or cheat sheet here today and really focus on all these numbers we're going to look at real quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be an important part of the pre-approval process because we have to make sure, the current debts you currently have and the new mortgage we're trying to lend you are going to fit into a specific percentage of that overall monthly income for all parties being on the loan. So
first thing, let's get it out of the way right now. Gross income compared to net income, everyone. All right. Net income is what we all see in our paychecks before Uncle Sam and everyone else takes all your money. Gross income is pre-tax. Gross income is what we use to qualify you for your mortgage. I know that may not make sense to a lot of folks, but how many times, Tom and Anth, do you talk to a first-time home buyer and they want to tell you their after-tax income?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did one yesterday. The person was a nurse, and they put in they only made $2,800 a month, and from doing it and doing enough people, you kind of start to realize how much money people actually are making doing certain careers, and you start to realize that hey, this is a pretty good job. They probably put in net income, but it happens every day. I mean, it just happened yesterday. I'm sure it will happen today or tomorrow to one of us. But they know net income, and the good thing is they're only cheating themselves. We can give them a lot more.
Well, and that's why for those folks that are sitting on the couch at home and they're too afraid to call one of us to go through the pre-approval, this is a big first step, because the mortgage world does base your qualification off that gross income, Anth. So if we look at the first line on the chart, if you make $60,000 a year in the mortgage world, we're looking at that as monthly, and we're looking at $5,000 a month in income that we have to work with.
Yeah, I mean, the chart's great too. I mean, it shows you exactly what your percentage of debt can be compared to that amount of income monthly on the gross scale. So, and ultimately, we're looking at items that show up on credit. We're not looking at utilities or any miscellaneous that you want to self-report. We're looking at what shows up on credit report for installment loans, credit cards, mortgages, auto loans, things of that nature, plus the new mortgage.
Yep. So when we have the 5,000 monthly income, and we're going to get into the 40, 45, and 50 sections, what that even means. All right. That is your debt to income ratio, and we're getting there. But if you're 40%, you're pretty much green to go. You're going to get qualified for your mortgage as long as you have employment, credit, and assets. 45% debt to income ratio, you're getting very, very close. And then 50%, you are maxing yourself out. You are going to the very max qualification that we can get as a loan officer. So what do those numbers mean in that section? Those are your total monthly debts, including the new mortgage payment. Now, we were kind of laughing before the show because this is the section where everyone starts labeling off how much they owe. I got $20,000 on a car. I got $3,000 on a credit card. I got $75,000 in student loans. Guys, I'm going to be honest. The overall debt is not what we're worried about as a mortgage loan officer. We're worried about the monthly debt to you.
Yeah. And that's also something that we could talk you through on the pre-approval, but the consumer doesn't need to know that. Honestly, like, they do need to know that, but they don't need to know that to call to us or figure it out. We are the ones going to figure all those numbers out for you. So seeing all these numbers on a sheet, you don't need to know where your debt to income ratio is coming to us. That is our job to calculate it. And we're going to help you through that to figure out what priced home is going to be the best for you with your big affordability.
I'm just trying to get that aha moment though, Anth, because there might be some folks sitting at home. They make $60,000 a year gross. So we have $5,000 a month income, and they're just sitting there with maybe a $400 a month car payment. That's the only debt they have. So it's like, okay, if I take 2,000 on that 40% section minus 400 is the only debt they have, they can qualify for a $1,600 a month mortgage, and they may not be realizing that we might be able to get them out of that rent situation into a good home, because now we're showing what qualification means.
Yeah, I mean, that's the importance of, speaking with a professional like one of us to go over those items, for the pre-approval. I think a lot of people, the premise is that, hey, if I apply for a mortgage or have my credit pulled, my credit is going to tank. And, we've said that many times. That's not the case. The credit bureau gives you a certain amount of time to apply for the same thing. And it only counts against you once. You have to have your credit pulled eventually to buy a house and get a loan. Certainly, you don't want to be looking at homes that are out of your budget, and you want to know what that budget's going to be so that you're looking at homes that you can see yourself living in for the next 10, 15, 20 years. So,
and to touch on one last thing when we're looking at debt to income ratio, student loans are a big problem in our society, and they are very confusing when it comes to mortgages. So just because you have an X amount in student loans That does not matter. It depends on how you're paying the loan currently, or if you're not. I would say one of the biggest misconceptions when new home buyers call us is, hey, I'm not currently paying on my student loan, so that's not a debt to me. Guys, that's not the case. We're still going to have to count a payment, and a lot of times that payment's going to be 0.5% of the balance. So that can be a pretty big payment we're counting on the mortgage side, even though you're not technically paying anything at this time.
Yeah, we will help you calculate your way through all these percentages. So,
and that's what we're here for. We want to show you DTI is not that complicated, but it's also very complicated at the same time.
yeah, I think the hard part about it all is making sure you have that correct income. And I mean, we struggle with that as loan officers. So the end consumer is definitely going to struggle with that type of calculation.
Absolutely. I mean, Anth, qualification is 100% individualized. Not the same two people are not going to qualify for the same thing. There's different credit scores. There's different debt to income ratios. There's different scenarios, and mortgage guidelines are very complicated.
Yeah, I mean, every borrower is going to be completely different. One is never going to be the same. But, definitely you want to figure out a budget, for where you want to be for a max monthly expense for your new home. And then that makes things more affordable. So you want to budget yourself out. You don't want to overextend. We see it all the time. You don't want to overextend. So call one of us. We'll help walk you through it.
Yeah, that's it. If our debt to income ratio chart there tickled your interest, and maybe now you're so curious of what you qualify for, if any agents have those folks out there, give us a shout. We'll get them pre-approved and let you know.
See you guys.
See ya.
Tom, Ryan, and Anthony.